Good evening, everybody. This is King Erner coming to y'all live and direct. I'm here on this platform trying to give the youngins some understanding of the guys they look up to, the ones who have all the money, the ones that are the big drug dealers. Majority of them, not all of them, but majority of them are working for the government. And it's guys like Frank Lucas that everybody is keep asking me about. Who is Frank Lucas? What did he do? Honestly, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Frank Lucas is a liar. Don't no one believe Frank Lucas because he claimed to be Bumpy Johnson's driver, and Bumpy Johnson's wife said he's a liar, and many other individuals. Along with that, they said he really didn't have no mob ties or none of that. I guess this guy sold a little dope and got to a nice little bag, and, he felt like he just wanted to make up things about being close to guys like Frank Matthews and, Frank who else? Nicky Barnes and the Mafia and all these other different individuals that he wanted to be honored by. So you can't even go off of who this guy is. But I will say this about this individual. He's the worst kind because what he does is he come around with the presence of showing off big money. And when he does that, he'll have others join him because they want to see what the big money comes from, where did he get it from, or what he's doing. And some individuals might want to take a piece of the guy because the guy looked like a guy that really wasn't moving like he said. I can't believe him walking up to anyone, shooting anyone in the head. Just by his demeanor, it threw me off when I heard him speak. It was like, I don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? So for all those who are asking about Frank Lucas, I'm going to say that, who cares? Because no one knows if he's a liar. And I don't care to discuss and try to help the youngins get a vision of a liar because what happens is it fall back on me. So I try to get a youngins a true vision of something, truth that happened, reality, honesty, something that has some wrong in it where they can grasp it and do right and never go that route again. Now, I have begun to realize that our world is going to be filled up with individuals who are working for the government, and we call them in the streets rats. In the system, they call them confidential informants or whoever they may be. But the way the world is going now, like I said, and like I've been saying for the last month or so, they're going to start recycling crime, and it's already taking place. I mean, anytime someone can get paid cold cash, get a check for being an informant, it just doesn't make any sense. And people that swing with these individuals, the ones that run around with them. I'm not saying that you're evil people or you're a bad individual, but I'm gonna say this to you. Why are you okay with betrayal of any kind? In a positive note, if you have a business, you don't want no one to backdoor you, sell your business behind your back, or sell a certain percentage of your business without you having any knowledge, or try to take a hit at your wife, or things that's really dishonorable. So, I think that we need to start coming together with our heads. When I see the brother like my Sonny General and other individuals, how they speak so, honorable in reference to who the gangster used to be and who the gangster is now. I look at it and say, I gotta follow and understand what this man is saying because at the end of the day, he's speaking some truth. I could deal with a gangster before I deal with any type of other individual. And that's only because I understand that a person that was a gangster that was negative at a time can turn completely around and do something positive more beyond what the person that started them doing the positivity. You know why? And you know what the proof of that is? You look at brothers like Umar radiallahu anhu, who was an individual who was sought out to hurt the Muslims. And Allah softened his heart. Yeah, So we got to start beginning to realize that people that done a lot of negative things, such as myself and other brothers that got a platform that's trying to help these children do the right thing, you have to kind of bury their past behind them because we're working so hard for you guys to accept the fact that we messed up and that we asked to be forgiven. But you guys want to take us through you guys done that, you guys done this, you guys done that. Listen to me, we didn't rape nobody. We didn't touch no children. Why can't we be forgiven? And we all know that God still forgives them because he does as he wills. But in reference to real life and out here in reality, no one is going to forgive those type of individuals. But an individual such as myself, that made some mistakes as a child, y'all have to let us in so we can help these children. Mommy, you can't do it at home. I know you want to, but you can't because that little boy, he's going to grow up too emotionally if you stick to you tight. I know because I experienced it. I was raised by women. So if you get to understand of knowing that I was raised by women, you'll know at a young age I had to get in touch with who I was really. Like, was I an individual who was too emotional? Sometime maybe when I was a child. Anybody tell you I fight them over anything? Like petty things, but because I was miserable, you know what I'm saying? At the time of coming up, and what I've been through is a little different than everybody else's because I'm not here to tell individuals, oh, I was some good guy at a time, or I was raised, 100% in like a trap house or a crack house anywhere. My mom was on crack, but guess what? My grandmother made sure her bills was paid. So my grandmother took care of my mother, and my mother, somewhat tried to take care of me, but she went to the streets and indulged drugs. So at like 7 years old, I went with my grandmother. And when I went with my grandmother, it was just more or less a little bit more peace. I didn't saw my mom kill her boyfriend. I didn't see my mom stab people, throw lie in their face, all type of things. And I embraced that in my heart that I wanted to grow up to be just like her. See, I didn't see all the downfalls that she was going through because she was my mother. So you don't look at that when you're a child coming up. You just want to be next to your mother. And I felt like at a certain age, she left me. You know what I'm saying? But at young ages, my grandmother taught me how to detach myself from things that are materialistic. And I always kept them in my heart. But she always gave me things, and I always looked for materialistic things. But I was an individual that if I did get materialistic things, I made sure that my friends had materialistic things. I made sure people around me was cool also. I wasn't a selfish individual, you know what I'm saying? And what you got going on out here now, because we speaking of guys like Frank Lucas and this guy Alpo, you got a lot of different type of, people out here. People aren't, they're not serious. They're transparent because everything they do, you can kind of tell, like, why did he do this? Or why did she do that? It's something behind this. And you'll find out these individuals that go the extra for you a little bit. They got like little skeletons in their closet that's real dishonorable. Now, I know you guys are going to sit here and look at me and say, King Erna, let me ask you a question. You just said that, you don't try to judge anyone and you try to look past that correctly. But certain things with certain individuals, I like to stay in tuned on it. And I like to go ahead and address them individuals. Listen, this, that, and the third happened. I don't want to come back to it and then I forget it. And then they like, oh, well, this didn't happen and I don't know what you're talking about. We're going through this for that. No, communication is a must. And we're not communicating, man. We're not. Too many people worried about what I done in my past. Long as I didn't rape nobody and long as I didn't do nothing but do no children or harm no children, my honor is always intact. And I'm going to make sure that what I do for the people continues to come from my heart. I'm not going to do things that don't come from my heart. A lot of people say, well, how much you get paid for this? How much you get paid for that? I get a respectable earn. But at the end of the day, it's not about the earn. It's about how can I help another child, man? How can I let this child see that a Frank Lucas isn't the guy to be like, nor is a John Gotti? How can I get this child to be able to understand that Nicky Barnes isn't the guy to be around or look up to? Neither is, who else over in New York that got a whole lot of money? Nicky in Philadelphia, it's Nicky Scarfo. You know what I'm saying? I'm comparing these guys because no matter if a guy's a street guy or if he's a rat, in the streets there's no honor. But for the street guys, I like to pull them, the real ones, the ones that got that honor in their heart, I like to pull them away from them other guys because them other guys, they just want to bury them. They don't have no care for them. They're looking at them right in their face right now, and guess what they're saying? I really don't like him. I'm just waiting for him to slip up so I can, steal from him. I'm waiting for him to leave his window open. When he leaves his window open, I'm going to have somebody climb in the back of it. That's what's going on out here. There's no people that are really, you find few men of honor that you can see that. And it's only those of honor, man, because a lot of real things are going fake. A lot of people are becoming individuals who tune into the wrong things. And then they become women. They don't understand it. A lot of the gossiping is a woman thing. It's not a man thing because Men, when someone comes to them with something that's negative, they embrace it and they say, I wonder what makes him want to tell me this now. So we must begin to understand that those type of, what I would call them, those type of signs, those type of principles, those type of means of, letting you know, who you are really inside kind of comes all the way out. And when it comes out, guess what? You have to embrace it, and guys like myself have to get away from you. Every day you're going to find out about a rat popping up somewhere and a rat becoming a part of communities. And you know what you got to do? Stay away from them. Stay far away from them, because you know the setup is there. The setup is King Erna, good guy, done everything he's supposed to do in his life, was a negative dude, changed his life over, positive, he retired as a man's man, and he's trying to help these youth do the right thing. Let's try to put him in a situation to send him back to jail so we can continue to corrupt these youngins, and we can continue to make these youngins the slaves. Because you know what? The drug dealers are the new slave masters. And that's my next talk. So stay tuned in. I'm King Erna from the Honor Your Life campaign. Stay focused and remember what I say. Honor starts at the wrist. It goes through the veins.